guys, welcome to Sphinx Reads. My name is Spencer. Today I will be doing the anti-TBR tag. I'll have the link to the original creator of the tag as well as their video, as well as Reobelle, the person who tagged me. I'm not sure if they, by the time that this video is up, will already have launched their booktube channel, but they're fairly new, so please give them all the love. I'll have their link in the description below once they already have it. But jumping right into the questions, number one is a popular book everyone loves that you have no interest in reading. I'll have to pick The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I've seen a lot of my booktuber friends love this book, and honestly, I've read the synopsis. I've heard so many people talk about it, and I'm just not interested. I'm not interested. I'm very much a cover person, and the cover doesn't really draw me in. And even reading a little bit about it and seeing so many people rave about it, it just doesn't. The next question is a classic book or author you don't have an interest in reading. Generally, I would love to get to as many classics as I can. Maybe not this year, but eventually I would love to just be exposed to as many classics as I can. And I just think it's fun to talk about classics with a lot of people. But one that I did find that I do not have any plans on reading is Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. I did have this on my TBR for a while because it was in one list where it was like a list of books that you have to read before you die, and so I added it. But just reading a lot of the criticisms about it, I think it was mainly the incest element just completely turned me off. That's a big turn off for me in general, so probably not going to read it. The next one is an author whose books you have no interest in reading. Definitely George R.R. Martin. I don't know what else he has written outside of Game of Thrones, but I'm just not interested in Game of Thrones, mainly for the same reason as my disinterest in Lolita. Usually incest is just my big turn off. Anytime that's present, it'll be a pass for me because there are a lot of other books there that I could read, and I just kind of don't need that in my life, If George R.R. Martin has or will ever write a middle grade story, maybe I will try him out. But as of right now, I don't think he does. I might be wrong, but I'm just not interested in any of his works. Number 4 is an author you have read a couple books from and have decided their books are not for you. Typically, I read one book and I just kind of know that it's not for me, and I don't read from that author for a while or ever even. But honestly, I don't think there is one author that I've decided flat out these are not for me, especially if I've already read 2 of their works. Usually I find that I've read one that I didn't like and then the second one I would like, or the other way around. So it's never really flat out I've read 2 books from you, I'm done with you, I will say Frederick Bachman, I've only read one of his books, and that is Every Morning The Way Home Gets Longer and Longer. I was fully expecting to just bawl my eyes out when I read this book, but was so disappointed because it just ended up not being to my taste. I do intend to read A Man Called Uva and Beartown, which are considered to be some of Bachman's better works. So I'm not really giving up on this author. I'm just really disappointed, and because I didn't really like that book, I just was really confused by the writing style. It was a little bit of a turn off for me, and I probably won't be reading his books anytime very soon. Question number 5 is a genre you have no interest in reading, or a genre you tried to get into and couldn't. I could answer both. A genre I have no interest in reading. Probably are not surprised, but I'm not really interested in erotica, even just romance that's even a little bit steamy. I just can't handle steam, Obviously a lot of people love it, and that is totally fine. That's totally valid. That's your taste. It's just not mine. I'm just not the target audience for that. In a genre that I tried to get into and just couldn't, have to be self-help business books. I don't know, for some reason, I think maybe everywhere, but maybe just my circle of friends, a lot of people I know love reading self-help business books like Think and Grow Rich or 7 Habits or Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I've tried to read a couple, and even though I did get a few things that I liked, generally they were hard misses for me. I just didn't like them. I didn't enjoy them. I like reading nonfiction every now and then, but this subgenre of nonfiction is definitely not for me. Maybe as I, become more involved in like money matters and things like that, I will take more interest in that, but as of now, I'm just not interested in self-help business books. Number 6 is a book you have bought but will never read. None, because number 1, it takes a lot for me to actually buy a book. Usually I'll borrow, or I'll find some other way to read it electronically. So I haven't really bought, I guess we're talking about physical copies here, because there's obviously digital copies that you can purchase. I'm not sure if this is bought books, because I have subscribed to BookBubs and Book Caves, ebook deals, and every time I see an ebook that's free and I read the synopsis and it sparks my interest, I'm like, oh, purchase, I'll check that out, even though it's free. And honestly, I probably won't read any of those books. I just want to download them because they're free, and maybe in the future I'll find myself with a Kindle on a road trip and I just happen to have nothing to do but read those books. Then they'll be there, but they probably won't be read, if I'm being completely honest. The next question is a series you have no interest in reading, or a series you started and have DNF. I can answer both of those questions too. I have no interest in reading Throne of Glass. I have no interest in reading Sarah J. Maas in general. It's really interesting. I have a lot of friends who are big fans of Sarah J. Maas, but at the same time, a lot of them are very self-aware, which I love, and they're aware that this is not for everyone. They're this is kind of a guilty pleasure, and I love this, but it's definitely not for everyone, which I respect. And just some of the things I've heard, I'm just not interested in reading any of Sarah J. Maas's books. One series that I've DNF'd would have to be 39 Clues. I read this when I was younger, and even then it kind of fell short for me. Recently though, one of my cousins expressed how much he loved this series, so I might give it another shot, but I don't see that happening in the very near future, or really in the future. I just might, so who knows. The last prompt is a new release you have no interest in reading. This might upset some people because I know how much a lot of people love this new release. This would have to be These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I'm just not interested. I've heard so many people who love this book, absolutely adored it. And every time I listen to anyone really describe the synopsis, it's like a Romeo and Juliet retelling, and it's set in Shanghai, and it has to do with this gangs, I think. It's just there's some martial arts involved there. I'm just not interested. It just doesn't interest me in any way. To be honest, I'm not really interested in Romeo and Juliet per se, the original work, because as a story, just not interested in reading These Violent Delights. I'm just noticing now that I probably have had a really nasty sheen on my face all throughout this video, but it's humid, it's the Philippines, so deal with it. Anyway, I am done answering all the questions for this tag. If you have not yet already done this tag, I think mostly newer booktubers have not done this. If you're a more experienced booktuber, you probably have done this tag already. So here is the thing. By the time you're watching this video, you have under 250 subscribers, then you're tagged. And I want you to comment your link if you ever make the video, or to mention me on Twitter when you post the video, or just DM me, and I will promote your video, retweet it, share it, to help you grow in any way that I can. But that is it for my anti-TBR tag. I probably made this super boring, because this is usually a super fun tag, but we're gonna have to deal with it. I might do this again in the future. Who knows? Thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please get to subscribe so that you can do it later, and have a great day.